In this video, I'm going to be rating and improving you guys' teams here in NBA 2K23 Myteam. If you want to be featured in the next video, make sure to follow me on Twitter at GrimFateYT and make sure to look out for my newest tweet that I'll be dropping in the next couple days where I'll be telling you guys I'm going to be rating and improving your teams again. But for this video, I've got a ton of people. Everyone that entered in is going to be in this video, so let's get straight into it. Before we do, though, make sure to go ahead and leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you leave a like right now and sub up, and let's get into the first team. This kid has 5,000 MT. He says he's addicted to opening packs, so that's going to be tough to improve your team then. But let's see what you got. So you've got Cade Cunningham, Tim Thomas, Jason Tatum, Ben Wallace, and Yao Ming. Honestly, a really good starting lineup. I would say the main thing to change in your starting lineup is going to be that power forward spot. With the Ben Wallace, I think he'd be solid off the bench potentially, but you do need a taller power forward at this point in the year. So I would look to get somebody save up for someone like Pink Diamond, Taco Fall, or if you want to go for a budget option, you can pick up Dark Matter, Kristaps Porzingis, who's only going to be about 10,000, 5,000 MT, and you can easily afford that. And then in terms of your bench, you got Jerry Stackhouse, Devin Booker, Jonathan Bender, Zion, and is that Mo Bamba? So Mo Bamba's really good. Zion is solid. He is a little bit undersized at this point in the year, but it's okay. And Bender's really good. Main thing I would do is get a better backup point guard and get rid of that Jerry Stackhouse. So maybe get somebody like a Nikola Jokic out of position card for your backup point. Let's move into the next team, though. It's going to be by 2K Snipe. He's got LaMelo Ball, T-Mac, Blake Griffin, LaMarcus Aldridge, and Anderson Varejao. Main thing I would say right away is move Varejao to the power forward and look to pick up a better center in terms of a taller center. So you only have 5,000 MT, so I would look to get Ralph Sampson. He's going to be a 7'4" dark matter center, and he only goes for about 10,000 MT, so that's a good cheap option. Move Varejao to the power forward and bring Aldridge off the bench. And then the next thing I would say is to go ahead and pick up a small forward. And for a small forward you can possibly get is Tim Thomas for only about 4,000 MT. Dark matter, interdimensional Tim Thomas, very good at the small forward spot. And then go ahead and shift those other guys down to the bench. Let's move into the next team, though. 180,000 MT, Boomy Big D. He's going to have Endgame Curry, Dale Ellis, Jonathan Bender, Evan Mobley, and Porzingis. Okay, so this is what I'll say about this team. The starting lineup is really solid. I would move Porzingis to the bench, keep Mobley at the power forward, and get Opal Yao at your center. He's only going to be about 20,000 MT, and you can bring Porzingis off your bench. Then I would move Jonathan Bender to the shooting guard, bring Dale Ellis off your bench, and get interdimensional Bobo as your starting small forward, or actually just move in that Tim Thomas to your starting small forward and put Dale Ellis on the bench with Bender at the 2. It'll make your lineup a lot better with a 7-foot guy being able to play the shooting guard. Let's move into the next team here by Champmar. He says he's going to have 300,000 MT. He's got Endgame Jokic, Jonathan Isaac, Victor Wembanyama, Shaq, and Yao Ming. That's an elite starting lineup. I cannot really complain about anything in that starting lineup. Great height, great defense, great stats all around. Then you've got Manu Ginobili, Tim Thomas, Karolinko, Chris Bosh, and Porzingis. So what I would say is go ahead and get Ralph Sampson as your backup center, get rid of Chris Bosh, put Porzingis as your backup power forward, and get a better point guard off your bench. Look to get somebody like a Ben Simmons. If you're going to have a lot of MT, you can probably get another endgame point guard off your bench. So that's something I would look to do. You've got 40,000 MT. What is this? This dude is using... What is this? But I'm going to try to see what I can see here with this 180p quality. You got Jokic, Bender, Bobo, Embiid, Yao. That's an elite starting lineup. I'm not going to lie. You have a lot of height, a lot of defense. There's not much I can say about that starting lineup. Off the bench, Scotty is pretty underrated. Lauri Markkanen as well. But I honestly would rather get somebody else as your... I mean, honestly, Scotty's kind of underrated. I think Scotty's actually really good. I personally like Tim Thomas at the backup small forward more than Lauri Markkanen, and that's the main thing I would say for you to do with your lineup. Other than that, I mean, just improving your players, like maybe getting a higher addition of Bobo, but, I mean, you have a really good lineup. What is this team, bro? Claw VFX. Me personally, what I would do with this squad right here is I would go ahead and swap out Giannis at the endgame point guard into a gold Muggsy Bogues. He's one of the most underrated, slept-on cards in the game. And then I would get Ruby Lil Durk as my shooting guard over Kevin Durant, and your team will be looking very good. Let's move into Mikhail. He's got Jokic, KD, Wemby, Manute, and Yao. That's an elite lineup. One of the best lineups you could possibly have in the game. Then you've got Cade Cunningham, Scotty, Moses Malone, Bill Russell, and Ralph. I would honestly say to just get rid of Scotty. Scotty sucks. I would rather use 5,000 MT Dark Matter, T-Mac, or Tim Thomas off the bench. Anyone other than Scotty, and that's the main thing I would change. Everything else of the team looks good. The video drops today, Phoenix. All right, Jimmy Cheese. Wow, this is all right. So this is gonna be the number one team of today's video. So yeah, if you guys didn't know, I'm now gonna be ranking the teams, and this is gonna be the winner for today's video, as in the terms of the best lineup for today. Lil Wayne, Lil Durk, Jack Harlow, Dak Prescott, and T-Mac at the center. Wow, man. So this is a 10 out of 10 team. Yeah, you need to lend me some MT or something, because that's a stacked squad. Esteban has 50,000 in the auction house. Okay, so you've got Magic, Scotty, Dirk, David Robinson, and Yao. Then you've got Jokic, Danny Granger, Bobo, Joel Embiid, and Ilgauskas, and then Jonathan Bender. I would switch Danny Granger and Bender. I think Bender is definitely a lot better than Granger. Other than that, I would look to get a taller center off the bench. Ilgauskas is 7'3", but if you're, with a team like you have, any little thing makes a difference. So I would look to even get someone like Taco off the bench if you can. And you can go ahead and try to do that. And we've got a lot more teams in today's video, so stick around. John Carlos Urbina has got Jokic, Vince, Michael Finley, Blake Griffin, and Yao Ming. Yeah, you need to change your small forward and your power forward. I don't know why you have Michael Finley and Blake Griffin in your lineup in August, but I would definitely look to get somebody like Tim Thomas as your small forward, and then or Jonathan Bender, even one of those two. And then for your power forward, I'd look to get someone like Pink Diamond Taco or Dark Matter Kristaps Porzingis. 120,000 MT. You're saving to get Hero Bobo. I think that's a great thing you should do, because your point guard, shooting guard, power forward, and center are all good. You just need a small forward. If I were you, I would do exactly what you're thinking. I would definitely go ahead and save up to get Bobo. I would honestly save up, if I were you, if you already have 120K, I'd save up and get a Dark Mat or an end game small forward, whether it be end game Dirk or endgame Bobo. You could probably get one of those within a couple of days or weeks if you go ahead and snipe and get some MT. Next team's going to be Cloudy. He's got 50,000 MT. He's got LaMelo, Asar, Bobo, Joel Embiid, and Ralph Sampson. That's a pretty good lineup. I would look to replace Ralph Sampson. I would swap Ralph Sampson to the bench and try to get Dark Matter Yao. I think that's the main thing you should be focusing on doing right now, is getting Dark Matter Yao. And then honestly getting a taller shooting guard. Probably look to pick up a Jonathan Bender, 7 feet, great animations, very cheap. That's a card I would look to get. You put Gilmore at power forward and Mark Eaton at 30K. You have 30K. All right. Let's see what we've got here. So you've got Jokic, Dissinger, Bender. I would get rid of Dissinger. I think he's outdated at this point in the year. I don't care what y'all say. I would move Bender to the 2, get rid of Dissinger completely, put Tim Thomas at the 3, and then the rest of the lineup looks good. And I don't think there's much else you need to do except maybe get some improvements off the bench. Next team is going to be 120. Bro, what am I looking at right here, bro? How did bro even do this? All right, man. You're the number 2 team of today's video. All right. You have no MT left. All right, you got Ben, Kuzma, Moses, Embiid, Ralph. Really good lineup. I would just sell Ben and get Jokic instead at the point. It's literally going to be like the same amount of MT, and he's a lot better. And then the rest of the team looks really solid all around. Even the bench, I would get rid of Scotty for T-Mac, just regular Dark Matter T-Mac. And those are the 2 things I would do if I were you. Next team is going to be by Marco here. He's got 3,000 MT. Same thing. I just think you should just sell Ben Simmons and replace him with Jokic. He's around the same amount of MT, so it makes no difference. Bender, Wemby, D-Rob, and Yao. Great lineup. And then you've got LaMelo, Ilgauskas, Bobo, Taco, and Eaton. Just a great lineup all around. And just do the things I said, and you'll be good. You've got 100,000 MT. You have Magic, Durant, Bobo, Embiid, Yao. Great height, great defense, great scoring. Definitely a really good starting lineup. Then you've got Jokic, Bender, Pokachevsky, Murison, and Ralph. I would definitely start Murison over Embiid. I know Embiid's an end game, and a lot of people think he's better. I would definitely swap Murison in Embiid, though. Bring Embiid off the bench, and really, there's not much else I can tell you to do. I personally like Tim Thomas more than Pokachevsky, but a lot of people disagree with me on that. You can go ahead and make the choice for yourself, but I think you should swap those 2 as well. You've got 35,000 MT. You have Jokic, Bender, Bobo, Porzingis, and Yao Ming. And then you've got Ben Simmons, Tim Thomas, Markkanen, D-Rob, and Ralph Sampson. This is an elite lineup all around. I would look to get a better backup power forward possibly. Maybe look to get somebody like Pink Diamond Taco Fall to either start over. I would start him over Porzingis and then bring Porzingis to the bench and get rid of D-Rob. Other than that, the rest of the lineup looks really good. 84,000 MT. You've got Jokic, T-Mac, Bobo, Porzingis, and Yao. That's like the dream budget lineup right there. So I think there's nothing you need to change there. Cade, Bender, Tim Thomas, Verjao, Ralph. Your team's... I can't sit here and act like... The only thing I can say for you is just grind up MT and get some end games to replace some of the players. But there's nothing wrong with your team at all. You can beat any team in the game with this lineup. You have great height, great defense all around, great stats. This is a phenomenal team. Fiki Riki is back again with another team. He's got Jokic, Durant, Wemby, Murison, and Yao Ming. That's an elite lineup. Great height on that lineup. Then you've got Ben Simmons, T-Mac, Bobo, Taco, and Ralph. Again, I mean, with some of these lineups, there's not much I can tell you. This is another really good lineup. This is like a 9 out of 10 lineup. The only thing you can do is just grind up MT and get some other end games or invincibles. Other than that, the lineup is phenomenal. You've got Lamar Odom, Danny Granger, Bobo, Ilgauskas, and Yao Ming. Really solid lineup. Probably about a 7 out of 10 type of lineup. Both of your shooting guards are L's in my opinion. Danny Granger's good. Danny Granger's good. I'm not going to lie. Your backup shooting guard's an L, and your backup point guard's an L, and your backup small forward's an L. So you need to change your backup point guard, shooting guard, and small forward. I would get out of position Jokic as your backup point guard. As your backup shooting guard, I would get interdimensional Tim Thomas for only 4,000 MT, and as your backup small forward, I would go ahead and get Jonathan Bender for only about, like, what is he, 10,000 MT, and your team will be 10 times better with those 3 players, and you should just sell these 3 if you can sell them. 2,000 MT, you've got Luka, T-Mac, Tatum, Verjao, Wilt. Not bad. Wilt is definitely a little bit undersized at this point in the year, and it looks like he is auctionable. So sell your Wilt Chamberlain. Sell your Wilt Chamberlain, and honestly, go ahead and pick up another end game, whether it be just pick up any other end game. Honestly, I would just get I don't know how much Wilt sells for, but just sell Wilt and get an end game like point guard or something. Maybe get Luka, just upgrade the Luka to an endgame Luka. I mean, it's not going to be the best point guard in the game, but it's pretty cheap. It's only like 100K. Just sell Wilt and improve. If you sell Wilt, you can literally improve everything in your team. You need to improve your backup small forward and power forward as well. So just sell Wilt, and then you can do the rest. Phoenix says should have around 500,000 by Saturday. You've got Luka, Kevin Durant. You have 500K, and you're running Luka as your starting point guard. My boy. You need to sell Luka, okay? If you have 500K, you should have a lot better of a point guard than Luka. You should pick up literally Giannis as your point guard, bro. The best point guard in the game is Giannis. Pick him up for 350K. You'll be almost at an MT, but I mean, if you want to improve your team, that's what you got to do. Then you'll still have about 150K left. I would try to get an end game power forward as well, and then just move the other 2 to the backups, and you'll be good. Lorenzo says, shout out from Italy, bro. This is my team. I have 17,000 MT right now. Cade Cunningham, Kevin Durant, Tim Thomas, Ilgauskas, Yao Ming. Great lineup. Then you've got Jokic. You've got Karolinko, Blake Griffin, Joel Embiid, and Ralph Sampson. I would swap your T-Mac right here with the Blake Griffin. I think the T-Mac is a lot better than the Blake Griffin. And honestly, other than that, your team is really good all around. Maybe move Tim Thomas to the bench, sell Karolinko, and get Jonathan Bender as your starting small forward. He's a really good card for his price. A lot of people sleep on him because he's so cheap, but you're going to thank me if you do what I just said. Your team's going to be a lot better. Yeah, Shay, I get it. I'm a day late. Sorry, boys. Zoe MVP says, big fan G, keep it up. You've got Lamar Odom, Kevin Durant, Kristaps. Ooh, that's the first time I've seen Kristaps today. Ilgauskas and Yao Ming. Then you've got Cade, Tim Thomas, Bobo, Joel Embiid, and Artis Gilmore. And then you also have Jonathan Bender. This is an elite team all around. I mean, if you only have 6,000 MTs, which is what it looks like, honestly, there's nothing I can say about this team. Maybe sell Porzingis and a couple other players and improve Porzingis up to Wemby. You gain an extra 2 inches of height. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say. We're just nitpicking here. Your lineup's insane. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Lucius has 170K with Giannis, Bender, Banchero, Wemby, and Yao Ming. I would honestly get rid of Banchero. I would personally go ahead and get rid... Oh, he's unauctionable. All right, then keep him there. I would get rid of Pippen off your bench and Sean Kemp off your bench and improve them with T-Mac and Tim Thomas. All right, so this is the new #1 team of today's video right here, and you have .14 MT, NBA MVP. This is going to be the #1 lineup for today's video. And to be honest with you, bro, I'm going to be having to give you a $100 gift card for this insane lineup right here as a reward for how much you have such a great team, bro. So, yeah, you get the $100 gift card. Dimitri Paris gets Giannis, Tim Thomas, Bobo, Manute and Murasan. Bro, this is like the best lineup possible that you can have in the game, honestly. Then you've got Clay, KD, Bender, Porzingis, Yao. Nothing I can say. 100,000 MT, you got Magic, KD, Chet, Manute, Yao, Jokic, Tim Thomas, Bender, Bobo, and Rick Smits. Absolutely elite all around. Maybe try to go ahead and get Murasan instead of Rick Smits. Murasan is better than Rick Smits. And other than that, you're chilling. 110K for Maxi Media. He's going to have Luka, Scotty, Moses Malone. All right, you need to get rid of the Scotty. You need to get rid of the Mashburn. You need to get rid of the Ben Wallace. Those are 3 you need to get rid of. You definitely need a better shooting guard. You have 110K. Honestly, get endgame Tatum as your shooting guard. You're going to be able to afford him. Other than that, I would swap your Luka out for out-of-position Jokic. Penny Hardaway, KD, Dirk. All right. Your lineup's insane, except I think Penny Hardaway is not the good point guard for this lineup. You need to sell your Penny Hardaway and try to pick up somebody like if you want a cheap dark matter point guard that's good, you can just replace him with Luka. It's going to be the same height with all better animations all around, so I would do that. Darius has got Curry, LaMelo, Karolinko, Rodman, and Shaq. Okay, so you just need to grind some MT up and get some solid players. Ralph Sampson is a 7'4 center for only about 5 to 10K. Get him. Power forward, you can get Porzingis for under 10K. Dark matter, 7'3", great animations. Get him. In terms of backups, try to get, or even starting, try to get what's his name, bro? I'm losing my mind right now. Out of position Jokic. These are some of the guys you need to get. T-Mac, Tim Thomas. A bunch of cheap cards you can pick up. Curry, T-Mac, Tim Thomas, Wemby, and Ralph. Great lineup. I would try to sell Ralph and sell Wemby and get Yao, and then you'll have leftover MT after selling those 2 to get Yao, and then get Porzingis instead of Wemby. Even though Wemby is better than Porzingis, Yao is so much better than Ralph that I think it's worth doing what I just said. Ben Simmons, Tatum, Porzingis, Wembanyama, Taco Fall, Yao Ming, Bobo. All right, yeah. This is going to be the worst team of today's video. So as a result, you have to send $100 to my Cash App because your team is absolutely horrendous. So my Cash App is GrimFate12. Make sure to go ahead and Cash App me that 100 for having this trash team, buddy, and trying to submit it in. Next up is going to be Night Foxy, 100K. You've got Giannis, KD, Bobo, Victor Wembanyama, Yao Ming, Jokic, T-Mac, LeBron, Porzingis, and Ralph. I would just get rid of LeBron off the bench and replace him with somebody like Tim Thomas. 172K for Bowl up next. Curry, MJ. I mean, if you're going to have this stacked of a lineup, you might as well have a tall point guard. So I'd save up for a tall endgame point guard or just get Jokic. GM Nashin says he has 100,000 MT. Kobe and Shaq are really good, so you don't need to sell them. Then you've got T-Mac, KD, Yao. Off the bench, I would look to get Jokic as your backup point guard. I would replace Kenyon Martin with Tim Thomas, and the rest of the lineup looks good. 94,000 MT for Uncle Figgy. He's got Manu, T-Mac, Bender, Dirk, and D-Rob. Go ahead and try to pick up Dark Matter Yao Ming as your center for about 30,000 MT. And then for your starting point guard, swap Jokic and Manu Ginobili and get rid of Ginobili completely and buy Ben Simmons for only about 5K. And your team will be a lot better after you do those things. And then get Jonathan Bender. Oh, you already have him. Yeah, you need someone better at the backup shooting guard, my boy. I don't know who. Zero P has 120K. You've got LaMelo, Tim Thomas, LeBron, Mo Bamba, Ralph, Jokic, T-Mac, Bender, Powell, and Joel Embiid. Move Embiid to your backup shooting guard and backup power forward off the bench. And then go ahead and get Dark Matter Yao as your starting center and swap Ralph to the backup center. 232,000 MT. This team is terrible. Send me 100 to my Cash App. 200,000 MT right here. Ja, KD, Bender, Wilt, and Yao. I would get rid of Ja Morant and go ahead and pick up. Honestly, I think you can afford, bro, Magic as your point guard, 6'8" point guard, or LeBron, 6'9" point guard. Get one of those. End game I'm talking about. You've got Ben. Okay, man. So another 100 to my Cash App right here for this team. So make sure to send that over because this team is trash. Jokic, T-Mac, AD, Porzingis, and Yao. Very good lineup here. You have no MT, so I don't know what to tell you, man. This is a really good lineup, and I think you're set. 50,000 MT for Cade. He's got Clay, Baron Davis. All right, you got to get rid of Baron Davis, and you got to get a lot of good players for the bench. You can pick up guys like Tim Thomas, out of position Jokic, Ben Simmons. These are some cheap cards you can pick up very easily. So pick some of those guys up and put them in there, around there. You've got LaMelo, Rudy Gay, Bender. Put Bender as a shooting guard. Put Rudy Gay on the bench. Get Tim Thomas as your small forward for 4,000 MT. You've got 300K, though. I would improve your point guard to Giannis or Jokic, whoever you can afford, in terms of an end game as your point guard. 73,000 MT. You've got Curry, Bender, Tatum, Taco, and Porzingis. I would get rid of Porzingis and put him to the bench and get Dark Matter Yao. 213,000 MT. You've got Cade, KD, Kenyon Martin, Joel Embiid, and Ralph. You've got 213K. Yeah, get Dark Matter Yao, Ralph off the bench. If you have that much MT, you might as well get like Luka as your starting point guard. Endgame Luka, he's a 6'7". And then go ahead and look to get guys like Tim Thomas and T-Mac as your backup 2 and 3 instead of the 2 that you have right there. 15,000 MT for Moose. He's got Curry, Bender, KD, Taco, Yao, Penny, Paul George. All right, you got to improve your backup point guard and shooting guard off the bench. I would look to get Jokic, and I would look to get Bender. Oh, you already have Bender. T-Mac. Jokic, KD, Dirk, Taco, Yao, Cade Cunningham, Tim Thomas, T-Mac. This is a very good lineup all around. There's nothing I can say here. Your team is very, very good. Jokic, T-Mac, Bobo, Ilgauskas, Yao, Curry, Tim Thomas, Pokachevsky, Mark Eaton, and Porzingis. I would get Jonathan Bender as your starting shooting guard and swap T-Mac with Pokachevsky off the bench. 77,000 MT for Jordan Ramos. He's got Jokic, KD, Bender, Manu, Yao, Curry. Baron Davis needs to go ASAP. Honestly, I would get Invincible Danny Granger as your as your backup shooting guard. And as your backup power forward, I would look to get Porzingis or pick Diamond Taco Fall. Luka, Vince, Ben, Taco, and Shaq. All right, Shaq needs to go. Go ahead and get Dark Matter or get Opal Yao for 20K. Jokic, T-Mac, KD, Porzingis, Yao, Curry, KG, LeBron. You already sent your team. Curry, LaMelo. All right, you need to improve your small forward, power forward, and your bench. Get T-Mac, get Tim Thomas, get Jonathan Bender, get Ben Simmons. These are some of the guys you can get for under 30K. LeBron, KD, Wemby, Bobo, Yao Ming, Cade, T-Mac, Bender, Taco, and Ralph. Phenomenal lineup all around. Nothing I can say. He is speaking facts right here with this tweet. All right, that's going to be it. So if you guys did make it this far into the video, comment a W. If you made it this far into the video, comment the letter W, and I will like and reply to every single comment that has a W. If you want to be featured in the next video, follow me on Twitter at GrimFateYT. Just go and do it right now so you can be in the next video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like and subscribe, and I'm out of here, boys. Peace.